Infrastructure Development Minister pleased with progress of work on the St. John's Extreme Rainfall Project. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report. Details to the news for Monday, May 3rd, 2021. I am Rikisha St. Louis. Minister for Infrastructure Development Senator Norland Cox has conducted a site visit of the Extreme Rainfall Project in St. John, where work is ongoing on the Brothers Bypass to allow for work on the Brothers Bridge, along with slope stabilization. The Infrastructure Development Minister told the Government Information Service the visit gave him a clearer picture of work being carried out as the deadline draws nearer for the end of the tendering process.
What we are doing now currently is preparing all the alternative routes that are going to be used as soon as we start the project. The project is currently is out for tender. Documents persons who express interest in tendering. The bids for that project they are currently out at tender, and they will be back in the ministry on the 5th of May 2021. So we're looking forward to persons who have expressed interest in that regard. So it's a very important project. This morning I've been out on the ground looking at some of the areas, some of the challenges, some of the slopes, some of the stones, boulders that have presented hazard. You know, we had a recent incident with a boulder coming down from the hill. And now we have the rainy season coming up, so we're basically doing all our assessment now to see the areas where there is vulnerability, so that we can do some mitigation measures to ensure that residents are safe in the communities.
Senator Cox says his team is pleased with the quality of work being done by the local contractors in constructing the box and slipper drains, along with retaining walls along the Brothers Bypass.
They have been doing a very good job, an excellent job, and one of the things that we try to do is to empower persons in the various communities by giving them an opportunity to participate in the process and also to benefit from an economic standpoint. And so we are happy with the work that they're doing, and we are progressing nicely.
Once the bypass is complete, work will begin on the demolition of the bridge, which will see a number of people gaining employment. The sentiments expressed by an investor suggesting that Grenada's lone international airport be privatized are not reflective of any government position or policy on the matter. Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell assured the nation during a recent live press conference that Naguib Swariri, owner of Silver Sands Grenada, was not speaking on behalf of the government, but rather in a private capacity, which he has a right to do. Endorsing comments made by Civil Aviation Minister Honorable Clarice Modeste Kerwin, Dr. Mitchell noted that many airports around the world are privatized, but said there is no consideration to privatize Grenadas.
In no party meeting that I have held throughout my period of service in government, whether it's since 1985 to now, no parliamentary session, no cabinet meeting, there has been any discussion about privatizing the Grenada airport. We have never done it. Now, does that mean that a private sector person doesn't have a right to advocate it? Of course that is their right and their view. Many airports around the world are privatized. That's a fact. There's some airports in the Caribbean are privatized, not necessarily airports, for example, places that have more than one airport. They're privatized. So the issue of a private person expressing a view, to me, how can you, I cannot see me telling the gentleman you shouldn't say that, because he can't speak for the government.
Dr. Mitchell describes the articles and comments made on the matter as insulting, as it implies that the private investor controls the government and its decisions.
Are we going to say everyone that comes here and speak publicly that is speaking for the government? I'm amazed. I call it insultive. Honestly. It's very insulting. You know what it means? It means that the man control the government and control Keith Mitchell or the Minister of Finance. Nonsense. The people who advocate this are people who do not have a lot of respect for me or the government. I have to say so. I can't say otherwise, because I don't see how you can imply that a statement made by a private individual, and I see a comments made by a certain individual who ought to know better. He did not call the Minister of Finance. He did not call the Prime Minister, but he wrote. He wrote, implying that we make a decision. I call that malicious.
Continuing the news, the Ministry of Labour will be reorganized to enhance efficiency to survive in a post-pandemic period. During the annual May Day celebrations on Saturday, Labour Minister Honourable Peter David told trade union members that a proposal is before the Cabinet to review and reorganize the ministry to ensure efficiency in addressing labour issues. Minister David encouraged union leaders and workers to remain focused on workers' empowerment even when the situation changes or appears difficult.
A new initiative is now before the Cabinet aimed at reorganizing the ministry to make it better able to play its role and more effectively carry out its functions. We will in the future be meeting with the various stakeholders, and my brother made mention of it, with stakeholders to discuss these proposals. This is a dramatic evolving world situation, particularly with the uncertainty of what exactly a post-pandemic world would look like and its impact on work and the nature of work. However, the many challenges alongside the aspiring advances must not be a threat to the labor movement, but a unique opportunity. Your trade union movement ought not to fear the future, but embrace it. Now more than ever, leadership must be innovative and nimble. But even when the rules and circumstances change, the goal must always remain that of worker empowerment.
During the COVID-19 period, 130 grievances were reported. These included the inability of some businesses to pay termination allowance, as well as rotation of workers and unfair dismissal of workers. According to Minister David, 96 of these reports were attended to.
The Ministry of Labour has been stretched to its limits, handling scores of employment disputes having to do with termination compensation, lockdown and annual vacation leave, shortening of the work week and rotation of workers, collapse of many small businesses and their inability to pay termination allowance, and the issues involving government and the public service unions. Nonetheless, for the period under review, 130 grievances were reported to the ministry, and of that number, 96 were attended to. Among the many issues resolved by the ministry, our involvement in the RBC-RBTT issue, the Grenada Broadcasting Network, Republic Brand Grenada Limited, Jonas Brown and Hubbard, Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association, Grenlec, and the National Lotteries.
This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break. Welcome back. 3 of Grenada's student athletes who have been furthering their education at universities in the United States have successfully completed their programs and graduated over the weekend. World men's javelin gold medalist Anderson Peters, who attended the Mississippi State University, is one of the 3 who have completed his course of work. The other athletes are former 400 and 200-meter stars of the St. Andrew Anglican Secondary School, Philip Marcel and Kurt Modeste, both of whom attended the St. Augustine University. Philip graduated most outstanding in the sports management program. Kurt Modeste graduated with a bachelor's degree in computer information systems and was named as the most outstanding student in the senior program. On Monday, Minister for Sports, the Honorable Yolande Bain Horsford, extended congratulatory messages to the athletes for their hard work.
I am very proud of them. We are all proud here in Grenada of what they have received. And, I keep saying that it's not just the sport. The academics is so very important as well. How we can blend the academics, how we can balance the whole sporting arena with the academics as well. And these youngsters have done it. Kurt Modeste and Philip Marcel, they both graduated over the weekend from St. Augustine University. And, they both received scholarships. And they went through with it. They didn't, linger or fool around, or so they took it very serious. They were very focused. Our own Anderson Peters, well, I am always proud of him, and he has always shown that he has the confidence, he has the ability, and he also is serious about his development because he realized that it's not just a sport. You have to have the academics as well.
Honorable Bain Horsford says it's important to commend and recognize the hardworking teachers and sports coaches who have played a pivotal role in guiding the 3 student athletes over the years.
We are proud. They are great role models for our young people in Grenada. And Grenada is doing very well where sports is concerned. We have to really continue to encourage the others. The coaches have done very well. Wayne McQueen and Paul, they have been doing a great job, and we ought to commend them. The Grenada Football Association, the Grenada Athletic Association are also working along with our young people, and they are doing a fine job. There are several other persons who have been doing well, but these young men have graduated and they are moving on to a next level in their education and in their career.
Government, she says, is committed to working with stakeholders in helping to create a brighter future for our nation's youth. That story just ended the National Report for today, Monday, May 3rd, recapping the top story. Infrastructure Development Minister pleased with the progress of work on the St. John Extreme Rainfall Project. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.